Okay, and now for something completely different. Hello, everyone. Today, instead of a regular video, which will be hopefully coming soon, as always, I am chatting with a couple of young men who have spearheaded a TV show called Young Voices down in the US, and it will be airing on public access TV, I believe, and also on YouTube. And when I say young, I do mean young. Look at him. Look at him, fresh faced. Onaj Jones, and please feel free to swear at me if I pronounce your names wrong, is a 17-year-old high school student at Diego Valley Charter. He has future plans to join the Air Force, which is awesome. I have a sister and a mom who both served in the Royal Canadian Air Force. And Luis Castlejo, is that right? Is only 19. He's studying mechanical engineering and feminist interpretive dance at Grossmont College. Not that second one. He's not doing a double major. He's an active member of the Boys to Men mentoring program. Young Voices is, I believe, sponsored by the Coalition for the Proposal for a White House Council on Boys and Men, some members of whom I have had the privilege of getting to know quite well, and that is how I came to find out about this project. And I know how much support men's issues tend to receive in the mainstream, and that is why these young men are rolling in federal grant money. Not. But I would like to see them find some success in their projects, so I have offered to help promote their work and see if I can't get some of you guys, my subscribers, to send a little love their way. Links to that will, of course, be in the low bar. Expect us to shill several times during this interview. So without further ado, let's meet Onaj and Luis, and you guys tell me a little about yourselves. What's your story? Which of you wants to go first?
You first on that.
I'll go first. Hi, my name is Jonas Jones, and I was born in San Diego. I moved to Las Vegas when I was 3. My dad got in trouble with the law here, and he was like on his second strike. So, so our mom wanted to have a different change of scenery, a different kind of life for us, and she didn't want us to be around that kind of environment. So, I mean, I didn't really grow up too much with my dad around my life. I mean, he's still not really in my life very much, but most of my youth, he was in and out of jail, and it was kind of like bouncing back between San Diego and Las Vegas. And yeah, that's pretty much my startup. We did move around a lot growing up. I moved to West Virginia, Arizona, back to San Diego, then back to Vegas, and then now I'm currently in San Diego today.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it's a lot of moving. I say it's pretty crazy. And then my uncle had died. He passed away when I was 13, and my mom wanted to be closer to her family because she's been away for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we made a big move to San Diego. We didn't have a place to stay for a while, so we lived out of uh, out of our cousins' houses for a while. We slept on the couch, we slept on the floor, kind of to make our start. By the time I was a freshman, we finally got our own apartment, and then during my junior year, we got evicted, so we were homeless again for a while. I moved around a lot from family's places, and I moved in with Lewis for a little bit, and I live with some other friends, and now I live with my uncle today.
Oh, that's
So,
good. Well, I mean, it sounds like quite the adventure. Like, your whole life's been up in the air.
I mean, our mom, my mom, she kind of made us have a really sheltered life. So like we didn't really go outside very much. I mean, we kind of stayed in front of our house most of our time. Uh, um, my dad did abuse my mom a lot growing up, verbally and physically. So like we did a lot of moving to get away from him.
Yeah.
So so going through that really changed us, and it really made us not be very vocal with other people because we didn't know how to connect with people. Because I mean, we only knew each other.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, but we did find ways to connect with people by like playing like little games like Foursquare and stuff like that around the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much we lived like right in front of our house our whole lives, and then we went to school, but we went straight home.
Oh, yikes. Well, that sounds, well, I can sort of understand why you took an interest in all of these issues. Um, Lewis, your turn.
Ah, Oh, introductions are awkward.
I know. Tell me everything that has ever happened to you.
Ever happened to me? I don't
Yes.
think we have enough time for that, but all right. Let's see. I'm Lewis. I'm 19 years old, going to Grossmont College. Let's see. For me, growing up, I was I would guess I was somewhat abused. No, I was abused by my sister's boyfriend a lot, who would hurt me, and because of that, I would get angry and I'd go to school and I'd take it out on other kids, and that wasn't right. And my problem was that I was a very smart student. I never had anywhere to go. I never had anybody to talk to about these things. So I would just go hurt other kids, and then I'd be bullied by other kids, and from there, I just kind of started going down the wrong path. It wasn't until I hit about freshman year of high school where I went to this program called Boys Men Mentoring, and it woke me up. I met some men who have gone down the wrong path, and hearing their story, it kind of made me wake up and realize, wow, I actually have a lot of potential, and maybe I don't want to go down the same path they did.
Right.
So yeah, that's where I started getting everything together, and I ended up joining the business academy at Montmiguel High School, which I loved. It was amazing. We got to travel around California, and currently in the Boys Men Mentoring program, I am the national chair council on the Boys Men National, so which is cool.
Yeah.
And I work for the program too. I'm the journeyman coordinator, and that's after when the boys go up from our mountain trips, they come back down, and we call them a journeyman because they are men on a journey. And yeah, I help coordinate them and get them to events. Other than that, family life. My father was never really present. He worked a lot, and he would also drink sometimes, so it never made him the friendliest person to be around. My mom was never really that present. By the time I started school, I was kind of an only child. My sisters were already done, so it was just me in the house. And with everything that was going on, I kind of I isolated myself. I was very angry.
All right. So, do you think that your experiences, growing up and all of that, are they reflective of the young men that you see around you? Like what's going on in terms of what's happening with young men these days?
I mean, definitely. For me, it's a lot with the absent parents and not having a father figure in your life to really show you the correct way. And a lot of kids today have father figures in their life that are showing them the right way. And like me growing up, my aunt smoked weed. I had nothing against wrong. I had nothing against weed, but like growing up in our household, there was always like guys coming over and smoking weed in a room, and then that environment is still like it's like it really normalized it.
It's a really
When it's like
unstable
you,
way
you
to
shouldn't
live.
really be subjected.
Oh, sorry. You're. Can you say
Yeah.
repeat? Can you just repeat that last bit because it got really choppy? I'm sorry. There was some lag.
Wait, for me or him?
Oh no.
Okay. Uh, they really normalized that aspect of smoking weed. It was like you shouldn't really do that around a child, especially in the kind of environment that we were living in. It really didn't show us like there was more to it. Like, oh, you just work a good job and then you go home and you smoke weed all day.
Right, right. And I
For
think.
me, it's
Sorry. Go
I
ahead.
think it's the connection. Oh no, I say for me, it's yeah, no, I see that. It's either they have a father, and like me, it's like they have men in their lives, and they're just not a man showing them the right way what to do, or it's either they don't have a father, so they watch TV and they watch all these comic book movies, and they're like, oh, so I guess that's how you be a man, by beating up the bad guys, and so they do that at school, and well, we try to change that,
Yeah.
little by little, teaching them the right way of being a man. So
Right.
that's why.
Right. Okay. So, and the right way of being a man is essentially, how do you feel about that? What is the right way of being a man?
I mean, there is no right way of being a man, but we know there's a wrong way to it. As it just it emulates and reflects like about how we do things, like and how people respond to it. So
Right.
I mean, you should as in like some of the best qualities of a man is being accountable, being there. I mean, well, being accountable, same thing. Being very vocal about how you feel, and not to be afraid to express that to the people you love, and to always be supportive of people's different different views and different viewpoints without getting like so angry so angry about it. 'Cause, I mean, you do have to love the people that are around you, and you do have to try to understand them. I feel like those are great qualities in a man that every young boy should really learn to have.
I think so too. I think that they're probably the ideal human qualities across the board, and I don't see a whole lot of men or women behaving that way these days, especially over the last 6-8 months or so down in the U.S. Um, so what issues are these young men facing? I mean, like I'm guessing that you know, it, there's gangs, drugs, fatherlessness. Or is there anything else that you would like to talk about, or?
Most of the issues with the boys I work with, it's typical teenager stuff. Peer pressure, drugs, girls. In general, just like how do I talk to people, or most of them just need a place, where they could go and express themselves because they don't have that at home. At home, for most of these boys, it's speak when spoken to, and go do your chores. So they get to come to the boys in the mentoring program. They're able to at least talk about how they feel. Like, oh, I'm frustrated at my mom. Oh, I'm frustrated at school. Or some of the issues they face is school doesn't want to listen to them. So at least they could come to us and we can help, talk to the school and, get kids some help with math or English.
Right.
And
Okay.
well, and also along with that is boys tend to find role models in other boys that are older than them, and let's say those boys are also trying to figure themselves out too, So they're all going through. So it's just like the blind leading the blind, and I feel like that's one of the biggest aspects of like of a misguided youth, because it's like me, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know really what I want to do in my life, but I know that I'm trying. And like some people don't even try anymore, and they're like, okay, if he's not trying, I'm not going to try. Or if he's going to take the easy way, I'm going to do the easy way. And that can be with either dealing drugs, smoking marijuana. I mean, doing anything really. I mean, drinking young. I mean, it's just recklessness,
Yeah.
honestly.
We I know for the when we go into different schools, we usually blow a lot of kids on, we blow their minds because, they grow up in the hood and all they know is to be a success is, the guy on the corner, selling drugs. That's the biggest success they've ever seen. So they, they make it their life achievement to be that guy. But, when we come into school and, we introduce men who are actual, scientists or real estate businessmen, their minds are just blown. They didn't think, someone could actually become a real estate agent or, selling cars or
Yeah, well, it's
becoming
just
a
like
scientist. It's amazing.
I would say to go along with your question is one of the things that boys miss today, or that are really affected by, is in exposure to things. They're not exposed to enough positive things. Not enough. They're not exposed and experiencing life changing events that further your future. I mean, it's one thing going through school, but it's one thing experiencing things outside of school and
Right.
like really seeing like, oh, that's that person's life, and it's just not like a picture frame, like perfect picture. I mean, like it's that somebody's living and breathing the life that maybe you want one day, or maybe you like to achieve that you never even like thought of.
Right. I think too. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said that when young men, when boys and young men don't have sort of a masculine role model, some man in their life that is there regularly that they can look up to and kind of take sort of follow in that path. They end up seeking that out regardless, and they tend to get it from their same age or slightly older peers. And that might be something that's not so bad a thing if you're living in, a highly functional community where most of the families are intact and they there's very little abuse and there's very little drugs and there's very little of those things going on. But when you're living in a neighborhood where most of the boys are in the same situation you're in, right? It is kind of the blind leading the blind. So I think that that's a huge, huge thing. And you guys have, of course, talked about some of your experience. I want to know a little bit more about the boys to men thing. Is this like an all male thing?
Yeah,
Um,
it's an all male thing. It's basically men coming into middle school groups, and we sit in a circle and we teach boys how to be boys. We come in, we do have weekly topics, such as responsibility, self accountability, how to talk to people, peer pressure and all that. At the same time, we just let them talk about what they want to talk about. Hey, can I talk about my father's death today? Or hey, can we talk about teachers? We'll teach them. Teachers are like your bosses when you get older. Or here's how you kind of want to avoid peer pressure, how to act or do when you're in that situation. And that's all boys men mentoring is. It's just men teaching boys how to be men.
well, actually,
Like,
you guys looked a little bit like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. It's all male. You're not in trouble with me over that. Actually, I'm glad to hear that it is actually an all male kind of program, because that really is what's needed. And um, I think that, and you've probably noticed this too, that boys and men tend to behave differently the moment a woman walks in the room, right? And so a space that's free from women, that's just all male. I think that probably there's a real need for that, and you don't see a whole lot of it anymore. So that's really cool. How have you guys received support in your endeavors, in your lives, in your, like you said, your uncle helped you out, Onaj. Lewis, you said that you found the Boys to Men thing, and you received a lot of support there. Has there been anyone else or anything else that's like really come
Um,
in and helped you out?
actually, the Boys to Men thing, I am a part of that,
Mm,
and there was a mentor named Rick, and he really was a big a huge outlet in my life because he always was always the person I could talk to. He would take a group of us kids out to like go to the beach, go surfing, go do some fun stuff to get away from our homes for the weekend. Because like he knew what it was like to experience a place where you feel like you can never get away from. And he wanted to really expose us to parts of life that we enjoy and can experience, and will want that for more. Would want more moments like that in our life. And
right.
the person Rick is who I call my uncle today. That's who I live with. It was a man that took me in out of the kindness of his heart. So it's a pretty cool experience to know that like in a sense a stranger was willing to take you in and make you part of his family to make sure that you have a, a more guided path for a better life. You know.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
How,
for me, it was the same thing as Anaj, except with a man named Anthony and another man named Joe. They saw that I was kind of trapped in my house and I couldn't escape, and so at times I would also be homeless. So they would offer me a place to stay at their house, and they would guide me down the right path, and they'd stay up all night and talk to me. And that was amazing. But outside the program, what really helped me, I would say that become a functioning human being was my business academy at Miguel High School. This man named Jeff Wood, he comes in, with a bag of dress clothes. He's like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna teach you how to dress today." What? Yeah, it was kind of weird. But he taught us, how to stand up and speak properly. He taught us how to talk to adults. He taught us how do you make a job resume? What do you do when you go into a job interview? Here's the different type of industries you could go in, and that's what we did in the business academy. We created our own business, and from there we decided if we want to be accounting or marketing, and then he would just teach us, how to be an adult. Okay, when you first walk into a room, what do you do? I don't know. You shake the person's hand, greet them, you say your name, try to have small talk, and sit down. From there, I kind of just like it woke me up of a whole different side of the world that I didn't even know was aware of.
right, right. No, that's excellent. And that, like so much of that stuff. I mean, a lot of people think that it's these are life skills, and some of them are pretty basic. I mean, I knew a man who was 25 and had joined the military before he learned how to properly use cutlery and cut his own meat, in a normal way. And he said it was just so embarrassing to be at a restaurant or something eating with people, and he doesn't know what to do with his tools, and it's just like, because nobody in his life had bothered to show him how to hold his knife and fork, right? And it can actually really impact those little things can really impact your life. Not knowing what to do when you walk into a room and all of those things. So that's actually excellent. Um, who have been your father figures? I'm guessing your Uncle Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for you,
It would be Anthony.
Anthony. Okay, and they've just really helped you out and helped you just kind of stay on the right track. And what year of engineering are you in? I was just wondering.
I'm about to get my 2-year degree at Grossmont. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Awesome. Excellent. You got any idea what you want to do once you're done?
Personally, I would like to build airplanes. But
Oh,
at the
that
same
would.
time, I'm also looking at men like Elon Musk, and I really admire men like him because he comes from nowhere and he taught himself math and English, and then he goes to school for it, and then he comes out with a car like Tesla, and that's something I would love to pursue after. That's a dream I would love to accomplish one day.
Oh, wow. But then you think about Elon Musk and his personal life, and it ain't pretty. Um,
Yeah.
didn't he get married to and divorce the same woman multiple times because she just couldn't put up with him? Uh, he's just
I'll put that part.
he's
But
he,
mostly the success and the business, that's something I would, to invent the cars and, stuff like the Hyperloop. I would love to
oh yeah.
go there and achieve stuff like that.
Oh, definitely. So, um, where would you guys be without these people who've helped you out? These men.
Um, I say, growing up, I was a very quiet kid. I kind of just sat around and read books all day. I didn't really connect with people. I would really avoid people. I like to play. I don't think I would be dead, or I'd be dealing drugs or anything like that. But I do believe that I would be in a very darker place, very alone, and not very still kind of the same kid I was always.
Mhm.
I say they really changed, like being in that program. Busherman really changed my life into showing me like it's okay to be vocal. It's okay to be a leader. It's okay to value your own opinion and other people's opinions. It's okay to see yourself more than just a shadow. So I think I'm not sure what I'll be like, but I know that I like who I am today, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Awesome. Your turn.
I would honestly say I would probably be in the prison system by now because I was angry and I would hurt other kids, and I feel like if I didn't have those men or the program to be able to teach me, that's okay to be angry, that's okay to be sad, or coping skills of being angry. I feel like I would have honestly just taken it out on a bunch of people, and I would have been in the prison system for assault.
Oh no. All right. Okay, about the TV show. I mean, like, why do you want to do this show? What are you looking to accomplish with it?
Um, I feel like for me, it's more to bring like a vocalizing point that that boys have issues, and it's like, what do you want to do about it? It's like what can you do about it, or are there already people doing something about it, and can you be a part of it? And to like just for people to recognize that there is a problem, that boys do need help too. It's not. It's like there's no need to be macho all the time. There's no need for all that, because it's like everybody needs help to grow, and it's like and it's more as in like a calling, like speaking our voices about what we need, or yeah, and it's as simple as that. It's just being a voice.
Mm.
Yeah, I can say the same thing. Yeah, mainly I just want to get out of is kids be able to be heard. Here's the issues that are going on with us. Can you guys help us? Can you guys give us some program, some support on helping us with our concerns and our issues, and where the kids also stand on some issues of today.
Right. I actually think that's an excellent idea. What kind of guests are you gonna try to have on your show?
Hopefully a few celebrities if we get lucky, but mostly I would hope to get people that are obviously interested in taking a stand and helping us bring out our voices, or being a voice to help speak for us, and to help like promote the idea that we should all help each other collectively as men.
For instance, some people we would have on the show is some local celebrities, such as the co-founders of Boys Men Mentoring, and we'd sit down and talk with them. So tell us about the issues of the boys that you work with, and you guys already have somewhat of a solution to this. What do you guys do to work with these issues? Oh, and they would come in with the mentoring program. So that way when people watch, they say, all right, so there is an issue, and there's already some programs out there trying to address this issue.
All right, excellent. I think actually the more promotion there is of the programs like Boys to Men and things like that, the more people know about them, the better off we're all going to be, because you're going to get more volunteers for mentors, as well as pulling in boys who could really use that. How many shows are you planning?
Right now it's
Right
three.
now it's 3.
Yeah, just 3.
Right now it's 3. You guys need $3,000 to do
Yes.
3 episodes, half-hour episodes. And that's part of the reason why I decided I was going to do this interview here, was because I want you guys to get that $3,000 so you can produce your 3 episodes of the show and see where that takes you. And again, link will be in the low bar for that, and I'm also probably going to stick an annotation somewhere on the screen for people who would like to go to the website, see some of your work, see some of the interviews you've done, other stuff you've done, and there is a beautiful bright yellow donate button on there, right near the top, for any of my subscribers to go and throw a little bit of pocket change at these young men. And what is the ultimate result that you want to see? Like the ultimate result that you want to see with this show? Do you want it to be like an ongoing thing forever and ever? Do you want somebody to take up the torch at some point and continue with the series, or do you want it to expand nationwide?
I think for me, I kind of want to make it known, just make it known and get it out there, and be that voice that starts it up, and to be that someone that helps keep like the train of moving together going, because like I want us all to be collective and helpful as men in our community and each other's lives, and just to help each other grow, just honestly. And I think as in like what I want for the show, I would want for somebody else to take up the torch, because the show is about bringing acknowledgement to young men. And I feel like nobody can bring that message stronger than another young man. And as for like us, we're going to get older one day, and we're going to be men.
Oh, it never happens. It doesn't,
I know, but like I don't want it to be about like men speaking up for boys. I want boys
to speak up themselves.
Exactly.
Actually, that's an excellent idea, and the audience will be getting something out of the show as well, I would hope. They're going to be finding out lots of interesting things. They're going to be exposed to ideas they maybe weren't, or exposed to issues that they maybe weren't aware of, or solutions that they maybe weren't aware of. So I think that that's really good. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about?
I don't really have anything, but if you have any more questions, you should ask.
We're an open book.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really have any more questions. Honestly, this is a new format for me. I don't generally just ask questions. I usually talk. I spend at least half the time talking, usually more, when I have a guest on, because I'm just I guess I'm just a woman in that way. It was really nice talking to you guys. And what if you guys end up getting more than $3,000? Because that's a possibility. Are you gonna put that money towards making more episodes, or?
I think that's where it would go.
All right, excellent. And then at some point, you guys are going to be putting out a call for young men to take over, to pick up the torch, and I guess you got to be almost 20 when you're into like the twos, the
That's
20s.
getting weird.
You're officially no longer young, and when you're 30, that's when people have to actually start taking you seriously. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm waiting for that.
yeah. Or for that was actually usually women dread turning 30, but I really liked it because then people had to take me seriously.
Yeah,
You can't.
the thing I love about this show is like it will bring a lot of solutions because now being in college and being in the adult world, I notice that as I get to know people personally one on one, they're carrying that anger or they're carrying some sort of childhood scar that tracks them throughout their entire adulthood life. And that's kind of weird being 19 and seeing that and how they're like 30 or 40 years old and they don't see that and it's kind of that's why I hope this goes off. And I love programs like Boys Men Mentoring because if you get hit it while they're in middle school or at a young age, then there's so much they can achieve. Yeah, I work with some people who they're angry because they never had a male figure in their life, so they had to figure it out. And if they would have just had that when they were young, I feel like they could have been so much more successful.
Oh, it's like I grew up in an intact family, and both my parents were just absolutely wonderful. And the more I learn about other people's lives, the more grateful I am every day that I had that. That I had a mother who was always there. They worked a dad he worked a lot, but I was 7, 8 years old, learning how to butter floor tiles with him, and to refinishing the entire basement of the house, learning how to wire light switches and things like that with him. And I think that a lot of kids they miss out on that, and they especially miss out on it if even if both parents are there in the family, if they both work, neither parent really has time to devote to kids in the ways that I think my parents had time to do, because my mom stayed home when the kids were young and my dad was working. So I think honestly it's getting that sort of one-on-one time with adult men in particular, and this is good for girls too, but just that I think that there's no replacement for that, for a good male role model, a good father figure in your life. And I'm just glad that you guys were able to stumble across this program and find that. And I'm glad that you're carrying it forward and you're paying it forward, which is wonderful to see. So I guess that was a very quick interview. It was very quick. People on my channel are going to be shocked at the fact that this video isn't 2 hours long. Unless you guys want anything else you want to mention, I'm just going to do one more quick shill, and that's going to be give us your money, or give these young men your money. Send them $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100, whatever. But let's help get this show off the ground, and yes, it will be available. I was told will be available on YouTube, not just on TV. So, all right.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. You guys can go off and have a nice statutory holiday. And I'm sorry about all of the toenails and the dog wandering through and any noise that might have caused. I stopped myself from swearing at her. But thanks very much for coming on. And this video will be up within the next couple of days, and we will see whether you guys get a little bit of love from my subscribers. So thank you.
And thank you for having us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.